like to know your point of view.
Hi everyone, welcome to Evening TV. I'm Evening Ransom. The thing that we know about this disorder is presenting itself for us here. So what I want to suggest is that since it's happening, since it's here, and we're all dealing with it and all having to face it, let's turn it into something good. Let's turn it into an opportunity to learn and grow. Okay. So the first thing that I want to say about it is when we see how is it that it perpetuates, we see how because there is a big piece of it, a big part of why it perpetuates is that there is an anchor in each and every one of us that we want to believe the lie. We want to believe the lie. First of all, if you're a very conscientious person and you're a very empathic person, it's hard for you to even imagine that this would be happening. The truth is so strange to us, so much stranger than fiction. Their fiction makes so much more sense to us than what is really going on, and it's what we want to believe. We want to believe that they are the person that we, thought they were. And so when they tell us that, it's a lie we want to believe. And we see people as we are, not as they are, And so she's projecting herself onto this person that she believed was going to help her, and she's not really ready, doesn't want to give that up. It was a relationship that she selected because she needed it. It was a role that she needed filled, and she doesn't want to give it up, these things. But one of the things that happens with therapists is that there is some projection that we can be aware of, and we hold on to it for a bit because it's part of the therapeutic process. So we might know for a minute that a person is. I'm almost wanting to go back on some of what I said yesterday, because I really am seeing how some education needs to happen. There needs to be some minimum thing, because the way that it gets perpetuated is because it is so clear, but there's a resistance to believing what was happening right in front of our eyes, and that's with us. So a big reason, a big part of why it is perpetuated, why it's so hard, why they get away with it, is because we want to believe them. We want to believe their lies. And there's two pieces to that, actually. We want to believe them, we want to believe their lies, and it's way more plausible to us because we can't imagine doing the things that they're doing. I had a live show, I gotta get back to doing it, but I had a live show called Embracing Reality with Evening Ransom. Embracing reality really was my mantra, because that was the thing that got me sane. Reality was what I held on to for dear life when I was trying to recover from narcissistic abuse years ago, because my world was so crazy. I had no idea what was real, who I was, what I liked, everything was so upside down and backwards. Who I believed I was based on what other people had told me. I didn't happy. I was completely other-centered. And so the thing I had to do to get well is I had to start asking myself what I knew for sure, and that was really a challenge, and it was really baby steps for a while. And so how truthful are we being about the people that we're putting in our lives and people we're selecting? It's a very good lesson, because we do this with a lot of relationships, especially intimate relationships. We do this when we first meet friends that we really like. We definitely do this with lovers and people like that. And but we definitely do it also with people that are in these kinds of roles that we want them to be who we need them to be. And so when they tell us they are that, we want to believe it. And we want to go on believing it, even when their actions are showing us something different. I hate to be dramatic, but it is how really terrible things happen. It's how terrible things like the Holocaust happen. It really is. If you look at this, you boil it down to, a small little thing here, but we've got people acting really pathologically, and we've got people following it, and we've got a lot of people looking away like they don't see it. And all three of those pieces are necessary for it to go on. That's how it goes on. That's how it gets perpetuated. So the narcissist and the pathological behavior, that is only one small piece of it. I mean, the narcissistic behavior is only one small piece of it. There's pathology all around. And part of it is healing the self-defeating patterns in victims. And a lot of times we misuse the term projection as well. Because here's the thing about projection. Projection is always unconscious. And so a lot of times what we'll call projection is when an abuser just offloads all their stuff onto us. That's not projection. That's just lying. Even though they are saying that, we did exactly what they did, they're conscious of that. The only time that it is truly projection is when they're not even conscious they're doing it. And this does happen too. This also does happen. But when they know that they're lying about you, that's not projection. But projection plays a big role. And I would venture to say really that in a lot of these relationships, the majority of the projection is actually us projecting our positive qualities onto them. And sometimes they do project their negative qualities onto us and really are that lacking in self-awareness. That does happen as well, where they just really don't see themselves accurately because they have such a cognitive dissonance, they have such a separation between their false self and their real self that they really don't have an accurate view of how they're being perceived or what really is going on. All right, thanks so much. I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.